All right, everyone, you are watching Live Now from Fox. I'm your host, Mike Pache. Always great to be with you as we continue to bring you the very, very latest top stories, live feeds, and, of course, when breaking news happens, we have you covered. Really, our big story that we have been continuing to follow is the tragic news of the Charlie Kirk assassination. Gone way, way too soon in a way that none of us have ever imagined. Just so much terror and evil in this country. And again, suspect behind bars right now. We'll get into that a little bit later here on Live Now from Fox. But I want to continue to bring in those who knew Charlie, who worked with Charlie, who really saw the mission every day that he was trying to do to bring college students together. And even though they might not have the same kind of viewpoints, but they could get together and talk about it and really talk it out as well. So I want to bring in right now Tyler Bowyer joining us here on Live Now from Fox. I'm really sorry that we are meeting under these circumstances, but I appreciate you joining us here tonight.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I just want to get your thoughts here on really the Charlie Kirk legacy. And, you know, when I saw what Erica said, the widow, last Friday, I mean, I thought she was just this pure lioness who, I don't know how she had the strength and the courage to say what she had to say about her loved one. But I mean, it was magical.
Yeah, I mean, we're so proud of Erica for stepping up so bravely into the role that she's now fulfilling. I mean, it's one thing to lose a loved one. It's one thing to have a loved one get brutally murdered in the way that Charlie was. It's another to have to basically essentially take on the mantle of what's, one of the most prolific activists that the conservative movement has ever seen. And I will just say this, as having spent so much time one-on-one with Charlie, I mean, I'm the longest tenured employee at Turning Point. I've known Charlie for the last 12 years, or going on 12 years. So we've been together. I don't think there's been a moment in time where I didn't talk to him hour by hour. I was joking with my wife. I probably talked to Charlie more than I talked to my wife. So this week has felt a lot more like losing a spouse than it has been a business partner or somebody you work with or someone that even is a close friend or brother. I am just so proud of the way that Erica has stepped up into this role as we've laid out basically a huge vision for a ton of work to be done. And she has put on the brave face that I know that she is putting forward here so that she can give a ton of faith to all the hundreds of thousands of activists that are looking to her now.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And we can't wait to see what becomes of Turning Point and continues its mission, and really seeing Erica continue to speak on behalf of Charlie. But Tyler, I want to get your take and really your insight on Charlie Kirk. Give us some thoughts and some memories of when, the camera wasn't on, the microphone wasn't on Charlie. I mean, just what was he like as a person?
Well, I've told everybody what you saw as Charlie online and on the camera was a lot of what Charlie was in the background. I met Charlie when he was a very young man, just coming out of his teenage years, really, and took to activism. And we were fast friends. And the reason why we were fast friends was because the man was so freaking passionate on the conservative principles. I had never seen a person that truly lived by their principles, that put principles first. There are tons of people in politics who are it's really hard to envision yourself hitching your wagon to. And the moment I met Charlie Kirk, the passion just exuded. And for me, it was a simple, I gotta follow this guy. I gotta work with this. I gotta work with him to expand the conservative movement because we had a lot of similar ideas. And I'll just tell you, for a person who never attended college, which is Charlie Kirk, he had a unique way of being able to communicate with every single college kid. And it's because he never just gave up on them. He wanted to make sure that they understood where his positions were, that his heart was in it, that he was, righteously looking for truth to be understood. That's something that's just unique, and you just don't see it from most people. Most people give up and they kind of give in, throw in the towel when you go up against hard things. The college campus was kind of going to the belly of the beast behind enemy lines, especially in 2012 when this started and when I joined him in 2015. And I'll tell you, I have never once ever seen Charlie not act the way that I saw Charlie did since the moment I met him. He leaned in to the fight from day one, and he died in the fight on his last hours, his last breaths on this earth. And for that, he's a very special man, because most people, once they find any kind of fame, they go, oh, I don't need to go do that. I don't need to go into the beast, to the belly of the beast. And he chose to keep doing that. And he did it because he believed in it so much.
And Tyler, he was so quick-witted, quick on his feet when he was at these college campuses. And he didn't know what these students were going to be talking about, and didn't know what kind of topic it was going to be. But the way he interacted with them, and he wasn't, when he disagreed with someone, it wasn't like he was calling them names or calling them, oh, you're a loser, you don't know what you're talking about. He talked in a way where, let's talk it out. Let's go through point by point about what you're saying and what you're trying to claim.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a genuine person. I mean, that's just who he is every single person that he would run into. I mean, his goal was honest and true. It was to try to convert them to his, worldview of thinking. And that's, the greatest, most, just, most sincere debater is somebody that will, constantly not want to give up on the person that they're sitting across, and want them to see things the way that they see them, and try to find some commonality in every conversation so that, that person didn't feel like they were given up on. Charlie Kirk was the true blue through and through person that was authentically trying to save the young person. And that's why it was so easy to build the Turning Point brand around Charlie Kirk, was because you have to have a person that a leader that people can look to that is constantly looking for truth and authenticity and honesty, and just never kind of giving up on really anyone around them. And he never gave up on family members. He never gave up on friends. He never gave up on the person he met 5 minutes ago on campus. He never gave up on the blue-haired lib that would walk up to the microphone. He would give everyone, that same Christ-like ability to explain their position, and then start to have a conversation with them and ask them questions, and make, again, things that were in common between him and them, even no matter how far apart they were. And that's really something special about Charlie that everyone can learn, and every single person that watches his videos now for the rest of our lives, because I think that they're not going to go away anytime soon. I think you're going to see even more of them and the conversation. I mean, we have literally hundreds of thousands, if not millions of hours of Charlie, different videos, different clips, different versions that are going to be released. People are going to watch it, and they're going to, engage that for many years to come.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt that content is going to be consumed over and over again as they try to bring that memory and continue to really hear what he had to say on a particular topic or story. But Tyler, I also want to get your take, because, we are in a dark place in America right now, especially when it comes to conservatives, the attacks on Republicans, the attacks on Christians as well. And it's a timeline that is not looking good, because at first the timeline would be, okay, first they try to silence you. Yeah. And after they can't silence you, they try to cancel you. And if they can't cancel you and you're able to break through that, now we are seeing the worst of the worst kind, and they're trying to kill you.
Yep.
What's your take on all? I mean, this is not going well at all.
Yeah, I mean, this is the scary part, is that you could have a repeat of the late 60s where you have kind of a broken country where there are people who are targeted and silenced with their life. And we can't have that. I mean, this is the moment where Americans have to stand up and they have to say enough is enough. That civil rights includes conservatives. That conservatives have the ability to be able to speak out and stand up for what they believe in. That Christians have the ability to stand up for what they believe in, even though they've been subjugated over the past 2 decades, really, from the Obama era to where we are today. And that's a really important thing. I think young people are really realizing and using their voice to be able to stand up and say, hey, Charlie is me. That's why so many people are saying, I am Charlie Kirk. I am, you could not have a more authentically all-American guy than Charlie Kirk. I mean, played hometown sports, went to small high school, participated, grew up in a small town outside of a big city. Like, this is a person that many Americans connect with and they understand. I mean, he has it was funny when I met Charlie, I was like, he kind of has a generically, American name, like Charlie Kirk. Like, all in all, the entire characterization of Charlie is something that most Americans, especially males, can really connect with. And I think that that's part of why he is so popular. And that's why the virality of Charlie Kirk has been out there, is because not only is he smart, people agree with him, but they look at him and they go, hey, I kind of feel like I am a little bit of Charlie. I kind of know a Charlie. I feel like all my friends are Charlie. And so this is a really unifying moment for most Americans to be able to step up and say, enough is enough. We're not going to put up with political hate that is going to lead to violence in our community. We're going to band together and really, encircle individuals who are doing the right things like Charlie was.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Tyler, the outpouring of support for Tyler continues to shine through. And I was like, everybody that is going to say something about Charlie, it's going to have to be positive, but yet I had to say to myself, no, it's 2025. We are going to find some knuckleheads that continue to try to put some sort of blame on Charlie or whatever. And, I want to bring up the comments here from Jimmy Kimmel, because we just learned in the last hour that ABC has taken Jimmy Kimmel off the air for his comments about what he had to say about Charlie Kirk and his supporters. I want to play out just those comments from Jimmy Kimmel, and then I want to talk about it on the back end here, because ABC coming to terms here, saying enough is enough. They're getting pressure from the sponsors, and here is what led Jimmy to being off the air.
We had some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half-staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks. They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the 4th stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish.
And those were the comments there from Jimmy Kimmel, and really probably the last comments that we'll see of him on ABC. It seems like Charlie Kirk will be getting the last laugh when it comes to Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, and huge shout out to my good friend Benny Johnson, who really exposed Jimmy on this. He made it his life mission this afternoon to ensure that everybody humanly possible saw that clip. Yeah, I mean, Jimmy's long been a disgusting hater of anyone that remotely disagrees with him. This is just kind of the final straw where, attacking, again, a victim of assassination, publicly attacking the president, the hatred is so beyond the pale that, you're seeing this now as, how many thousands and thousands of people have been fired from their jobs because they just can't contain their excitement and joy over a political assassination. It is truly, it makes you want to throw up. It makes you want to question your neighbors when you go out and you look at some of these people, because I just can't imagine a world in which my fiercest of enemies, I would want dead, much less want to joke about their death after the fact. That's the next level of sickness and mental illness that is probably undiagnosed in America right now, that's been facilitated by the mainstream media. And so where we're looking at this now is, I'm glad that finally it's taken. I don't think they were on a great track anyways, seeing the death to the late night hosts. But Jimmy Kimmel has long been needed to exit the stage. And I'm hoping that there's nobody that's going to be paying him to continue to lash out against half of America all the time.
Yeah, there you go. There's an old saying, when the grass is cut, the snakes will show. So I think we're seeing that right now play out. But Tyler, thank you so much for joining us on Live Now from Fox and really sharing your thoughts. I know it's been just a horrible and difficult time for you and your team, but I thank you for coming on and sharing your memories. I think it will continue to just be a blessing for so many to really hear the remarks from Charlie Kirk for the years on with all the content that you guys have and will continue to push out. And it'll be interesting and very positive to see what comes of Turning Point.
Thank you very much, Mike.